So today I'm going to be putting on a new fan motor on our Coleman Mach air conditioner. The motor that's in it started seizing up, of course, on the the hottest week of the year so far, so that's fun. You can tell that our filter that's on the inside definitely needs to be cleaned because that's not helping the cause. If it's not allowing airflow through, it's not helping the air conditioner stay efficient. Not that these units are very efficient at all anyway. And then here's some of the tools we're going to be using today. I have this Mad Foam coil cleaner, first time I'm trying it, so we'll see how it works to clean the coil on the outside. This just came as an assortment, but most likely I'm just going to be using probably a set of these there to make sure any of the fins going down through the condenser is straight and not all bent up. I have a multimeter here just in case I need to do any measurement reading on any of the electronics. I got a screwdriver to take the cover off, wire strippers in case I need to strip any of the wire up there, crimps to crimp on different wire ends in case there's anything bad up there. I'm taking multiple style ends to crimp on. I'm going to need a tape measure so I can measure where both the fans sit on the shaft of this motor. I'm going to have my driver impact there. That's also going to help me take screws off. Camera stand obviously to film this. And then here's the replacement motor, and here's a new capacitor. So that's what I will be getting on the roof here in a minute to go up there and start this job. You're also going to need a ratchet and a 9mm socket and a rubber mallet. As you can see here, I'm trying to spin the fan motor and it's very tight. It didn't spin freely. The very first thing you want to do is turn off your air conditioner breaker and pull the fuse for your air conditioning thermostat to avoid being electrocuted. Right here I'm taking out the 4 screws that are holding the cover on, and the one was severely cross-threaded, so I had to actually cut it off, so that's why you didn't see me remove the 4th one. Now with the cover off, you can see the coils in the back and the fan motor attached to the front half. I'm on the other side getting ready to take the plate off where all the wires feed into and where the capacitors are at. I had to lift up the TV antenna to get to the last screw on the bottom of this plate. Now with the plate removed, be careful when you open this. There may be some wasp nests. As you can see, I had a wasp nest and a mud dauber nest. There are 3 capacitors in here, and I will be replacing the one that has the wires going to the fan motor. And be very careful handling any of these capacitors. I recommend wearing a thick pair of gloves. I know I'm not, but do not touch the tops of the capacitors where the wires are at because you can get electrocuted. I'm removing the screw that holds the strap, and the strap holds the 3 capacitors from running around. Again, do not touch the terminals on the top. The plastic fan blade will be held on with a metal strap that has a Allen head screw in it. Right here I'm measuring the distance on the shafts to see where I will have to put the fan back on. Most of these replacement motors will not have the same exact shaft length that the original had, so you're just going to have to figure out on yours where you need to measure from, whether it be the plate where the motor sits on or anything, just as long as you can get the fan blade close. Right here I had to use my rubber mallet to get the fan blade off because the shaft was a little rusty and I could not just move it with my hand. I'm going to be removing the screws that holds the motor down to the bottom of the plate so it doesn't sit there and vibrate or come loose. And then there will be 5 screws on this square plate that holds the fan motor to the front side of the air conditioner unit. And when I pull this out, you will see the plastic fan that is what blows all the air around on the inside of your unit. Now I'm locating the wires that come from the fan unit, and I'm cutting them off over there on the side where they would attach to the capacitor and the other different areas. And I'm going to pull them through the hole up top so that way we can remove the fan motor. Now that we pulled that out, I'm measuring to see where this fan blade needs to sit on this shaft, so that way we can put it as close as possible to where it originally was when we put it back in. And the same thing, it's also tightened on there with an Allen head metal clamp. This one came off really easy. There wasn't really any rust on this side. You'll see here underneath of the foam, there's going to be your 4 nuts that hold on the motor. So I kind of just punctured the foam, that way I could get to the nuts. Here I am with my ratchet and socket 9mm, taking the nuts off so that way we can pull the motor from the plate. And after you get the plate and motor separated, you can test fit your new motor. I didn't get lucky. I had to open the holes up a little bit and take a file so the new motor would fit in. They were not exact holes, even though this motor said it was a direct bolt in. Here I am using that little tool to straighten some of the fins. Now I'm spraying the foam cleaner on, and the video does not do justice on how well this stuff cleaned. It actually cleaned the coils off really well. It almost looked brand new when I was done. And you'll see here, I figured since I had the plastic fan off, I might as well just go on the inside and spray the inside too, and just make this thing super clean. You can set to leave the foam sitting on the coils and it would rinse itself off by running it, but I didn't know how potent the stuff would be and I didn't want it messing up my roof or anything, so I just went ahead and rinsed it off with the hose. And that way I knew if I did or didn't, get all the dirt out. I also figured while I had the hose out, I would just take the time and wash both of the plastic fan blades because there was a ton of dirt and stuff all over them. Right here is when I realized that none of the set of holes in this plate lined up to make this new motor fit, so I went and opened the holes up, and now we're good to go. Getting ready to put all the nuts back on. When you tighten the nuts down, I would recommend just going snug and then just go just a little bit more, because these are very skinny bolts and you don't want to break them off. Right here you can see I just put the blower fan back on, and there's the new motor. We're going to bolt the plate back on. There's 5 screws. And then I'm also going to put the support foot back on, which is 2 screws in the bottom of the plate, and then it also connects to a stud on the back side of the motor. Now I'm going to roll the fan blade back over, put it back on the shaft, and tighten it back on. Just remember when you put these 2 plastic fans back on that you remember what your measurements were so you can get your fan pretty close to where it was from factory. Now I'm getting ready to install the new capacitor. Both the brown and brown with the white line wire is what connects to the top terminals on this capacitor. I'm going to push it down in, set it in nicely, and then I'll tighten the strap down. Right now you can see me stripping the black wire. I just did it one at a time so that way nothing got messed up. I would just strip the original black wire coming out and twisted it with the new black wire, and I crimped on a new end and I'm going to do the same thing for the red wire and the white wire. Now that all the wires are hooked up, I'm not sure where my video went, but I went inside, turned my breaker back on, and put my fuse back in for my thermostat, and I tested just to make sure that the fan and the air conditioning would work, and it did. So now I'm bolting the plate back on, and be careful when you tighten any of the screws on any of this, because it's just pretty much sheet metal everywhere. So if you tighten it really tight, you'll probably strip it out really easy. Also, if you're not reusing your old capacitor, I recommend discharging it and properly disposing it. And there you have it. It's all buttoned back up and working like it should. I hope this video helped you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again soon.